Okay, good morning, students. So, when did you completed your CMA foundation? Okay, very good. So, what's your name, ma? Ash. Your name? Okay, okay, right. So, simple thing is, so far in the previous sessions, faculty has covered coverage with respect to what are all the subjects in group 1 as well as group 2, and how we are going to impart the coaching, and what are the deadlines for completion of syllabus when group 1 is going to start and when group 1 is going to complete, and when group 2 is going to start and group 2 is going to complete. And at the same point of time, if you wish to appear for December attempt, it is up to your choice. There is no restrictions. You can write the exam in December 2025 itself. But there are certain advantages which, if you appear for both groups, there are certain advantages. I think Bhaskar sir has already completed the advantages discussion with respect to appearing for both groups. Okay, so it is up to will and wish of the students whether they wish to write group 1 or group 2 or both groups. From institute point of view, there won't be any sort of restrictions with respect to examination. Okay, so if your preparation is enough, you can write simply. And in October itself, we are going to comfortably complete our group 1 syllabus. Okay, so accounts completed, with respect to accounts faculty introduction completed, DT completed. So now paper number 8, which is in group 1. In your group 1, paper numbers start from 5. So up to 4 subjects, up to 4 papers lies in foundation. And in intergroup 1, paper will start from paper number 5. 5, 6, 7, 8. So group 1 last paper, paper 8 is cost accounting. Cost accounting. So in cost accounting, from syllabus point of view, I wish to give a brief introduction. So the entire cost accounting 100 marks paper has been divided into three parts. So section A, B, C. So weightage with respect to the sections have been written clearly there. 40%, 30%, and 30%. And in foundation itself, you have already completed the basic discussion with respect to costing. I think cost sheet also you have completed. But nothing to worry. We are going to revise those topics in intersession also, because there might be some few days gap between foundation syllabus discussion and current discussion. That is why we are going to revise that basic discussion also. Basic revision also we will discuss here. And with respect to costing, there are three sections, right? In section A, the majority part will occupied by cost sheet as well as elements of cost. So with respect to this 40%, section A, what is the weightage of section A? 40%. So what is the name of section A? Introduction to cost accounting. Introduction to cost accounting comprises of what is cost, costing, cost accounting, cost accountancy, and cost sheet discussion, and the problems with respect to cost sheet, and elements of cost. What? Elements of cost. Elements of cost means material, labor, overheads. So if we completed the discussion, 40% of your syllabus will be completed. And coming to section B, methods of costing. We can call it as techniques of costing also. There are certain methods or there are certain techniques in costing. We'll discuss about those methods and techniques in section B. Job costing, batch costing, process costing, operating costing, like that. There are certain techniques which we are going to discuss in section B. And after that, section C comprises of how much weightage? Again 30% weightage, and it will comprises of cost accounting extended techniques. Okay, so this is the basic paper pattern of paper number 8. Paper number 8. So what is the name of paper number 8? Cost accounting. How many sections are there in paper number 8? 3. Section A, B, C, and the weightage with respect to A, B, C are simply 40, 30, 30. And what is the teaching order, sir? So how we are going to complete our syllabus? First of all, we will discuss section C or section A or B. The teaching order for paper number 8 will be section 8 concepts first. And in section 8 also, section A also, we are not going to complete section A 100% at first phase. We are not going to cover it in 100% manner. We are going to cover basics. In earlier discussion also, I have clearly told you, with respect to foundation, you have learned some basics. But as the time passes, you might forget those basics. That is why I am going to revise those basics. Those basics comprises of basic definitions as well as cost sheet basics. Cost sheet basics. After that, material labor overheads are also there. We are not going to complete material labor overheads in the first phase. Why, sir? There are certain reasons for that, which you are going to learn in the upcoming session. And after that, we are going to complete methods of costing basics first. And after completing A and B in a 100% manner, we are going to complete section C. Even though we start with section C first, you might be unable to understand, you might be unable to digest the subject well. Why? Because section C comprises of fully advanced topics. Sir, you have introduced the names only, but you don't introduce the chapters in the sections itself. I'm going to introduce the sections right now. Listen carefully. So these are the chapters. Yes, these are the chapters. So first of all, section A. Section A, what is the name of section A? Introduction to cost accounting. In section A, how many modules are there? Totally 4 modules. Totally 4 modules. Module 1, Introduction to Cost Accounting. Please read module 1, 1.5 name. The name of 1.5 submodule, 5th one is there. Preparation 1.5. Preparation of cost sheet and ascertainment of profit. Are you able to recollect this name? Have you ever listened this name? Preparation of cost sheet. Preparation of cost sheet at foundation level. I have already discussed it earlier. We are going to revise the basics also. We are not going to leave these topics at this time by saying that in foundation also you have completed. We are not going to repeat the same. No, we are going to repeat and we are going to revise the basics also at this stage. And after completion of cost sheet and all, that is module 1. Module 2, what is the name of module 2? Cost ascertainment and the basics of elements of cost. I have already said it earlier. Elements of cost. How many elements are there? 3 elements. Read it out. First one, material cost. Second one, employee cost. Third one, direct expenses. Fourth one, overheads. Material, labor, expenses and overheads. There is a logic also why it is called as being overheads and why material, labor, expenses. I'm going to tell you in the classes. Next one, module 3, it's talk about standards. Cost accounting standards. This module 3 is important from MCQ point of view. MCQ point of view. I think you very well know about the paper pattern of inter, right? 100 marks paper. Out of 100 marks, 30 marks will be allocated for MCQs. In MCQs, true or false statements will also be there. Match the following. Fill in the blanks. Previously, it used to be there. Previously at 2012 syllabus, 2008 syllabus, at that point of time, examiner used to test the students from that point of view also. True or false, fill in the blanks, match the following. By the time when I wrote the exam in December 2012 CMA Inter, match the following, fill in the blanks, true or false, MCQs will also be there. But whole comprise of 30 marks only, no weightage, no change in the weightage. That is 30 marks only. In that 30 marks, he used to allocate 5 marks for match the following, 5 marks for true or false, 5 marks for fill in the blanks. That way he used to adjust the 30 marks. But now it is very, very easy for the students. Why? Because just 15 MCQs, no bakwas. Only 15 MCQs, and each MCQ carries 2 marks, and the good point is no negative marking. Even though you wrote a wrong answer, you are not going to lose anything. Not going to lose anything. No negative marking. So that is why it is very much beneficial from students' point of view in order to qualify the exam. And you know the qualification marks also, right? Each subject qualification on a subject wise note, it will be 40 marks. But on aggregate, you have to get 200 marks from 4 subjects. Sir, I get 40, 40, 40 and 80. Got? You got? You got 40 marks in first paper, paper number 5. 40, 40 and 80. Is it said that you completed that group or you failed in that group? You completed that group. Why? Because what is required in order to said a student has been qualified certain group means he has to obtain 40 marks minimum on a subject wise, on a paper wise basis. And when it comes to aggregate, he must score minimum 200 or more out of 400 marks. So 4 subjects, 4 into 100, 400. So out of 400, what must be your minimum score for the qualification? 200 marks. So what is the total marks in the given example cases? In example case, 40 plus 40, 80, 80 plus 40, 120, 120 plus 80, 200 marks. This is the paper pattern. I think you are all well aware about this paper pattern. Now I am not going to duplicate the same discussion again. Yeah. I wish to introduce the modules. So module 3 is important from which point of view? From theoretical point of view or MCQ point of view? Generally in MCQ point of view, students, examiner will try to test the students' knowledge from this module 3. There is no hard and fast rule that from module 3 only MCQ should come, no theory questions should come. No, there is no hard and fast rule like that. But in general, we can expect MCQ questions from module 3, and you must remember those CAS names also. What is CAS 1, what is CAS 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, like that, totally 24 CAS. What is CAS? Cost Accounting Standards. There are financial accounting standards also. AS1, AS2, AS3, AS4, like that. Financial accounting standards are also there. Likewise, in CMA also, from costing point of view, CAS are also there. Cost accounting standards also there. Clear? So cost accounting standards 1 to 24. You have to remember the names. So next one, module 4, cost bookkeeping. So these 4 modules comprises of section A, which contains 40 marks from your entire 100 marks paper. Okay. And let me give clarity with respect to these weightages. There is no constitutional rule from ICMA point of view that examiner must follow 40 marks, 30 marks, 30 marks. Examiner must follow the given weightages. Examiner may ask 50 marks from section A also, 20 marks section B, and remaining 30 marks from section C. But in general, in the best interest of student community, in the best interest of student community, examiner won't do such kind of silly things. Examiner, to the extent possible, maximum he will try to obey the weightages, 40, 30, 30. But sometimes 41 marks might be there, 42 marks might be there. You can't question examiner that you said it is 40% only, why you have asked for 41 marks. No, no questions like that. Sometimes 38 marks will also come, 39 will also come, depend upon the weightage and all. He has to allocate the weightages. But this is the proven weightages, or this is suggestible weightages. In a majority cases, examiner will try to obey these weightages. Section A 40, section B 30, section C 30. Okay. So section A modules has been completed. How many modules? 4 modules. Okay. Let's quickly discuss section B modules. Only one module is there, which will discuss about methods of costing. What is another name? Techniques. We can call it as methods or techniques. Sir, in section C also techniques, the word has been used. Those are extended techniques, advanced techniques. Those are advanced techniques. So section B, in methods of costing, how many methods has been given in your syllabus? 5 methods. First one is job costing, batch costing, contract costing, process costing, and operating cost. Sir, what are all these names, sir? How we are going to deal with those subjects? Very easy actually. In intermediate, you guys are from MPC or MEC? MEC. Anyway, you know about max, right? Not from CEC, right? So if you know max, you can play with this paper. And the advantage of paper number 8 is, if you attempt the questions somewhere around, you will be able to get minimum to minimum 30 to 40% of marks from the question. Say for example, some 7 marks question has been given. Yeah, listen carefully. A 7 marks question has been given from operating costing problem. Generally, operating costing will be used in transportation services, like service costing. The other name of operating cost is service costing. So in service sector, this method of costing will be used. Sir, what is meant by service? Hotel, lodging and boarding, restaurants, they are offering food services, online services. Now Shikara Tutorials, it is a service oriented institution. So in this institute also we can deploy operating costing. We are not selling anything here right now. Are we going to sell laptops or mics, or are we going to sell any products? We are going to sell services. That is the motto. So in educational institutions, hotels, restaurants, transportation services, we can deploy operating costing. The other name is service costing. So a 7 marks question has been given from operating costing. You know nothing about the formulas of operating costing. Forget everything. You know only job costing, batch costing and all, and you have taken operating costing as choice. As choice. And you forgot, and you don't know, you know nothing about operating costing. Know nothing about operating costing. And how many marks has been given, or how many marks has been, how many marks question has been asked in the final examination? 7 marks. But you know nothing. Formulas, you know nothing. But there is a question, right? How he will ask question? He used to give some data, right? Some X limited hotel service is there, 70% occupancy is there, per day room rent is this much, and the expenses are this much, salaries is like that. So he will furnish you with that kind of data. Then what you can do, even though you know nothing about the formulas, you can reiterate the data. You can reiterate nothing but representing the data in the other way, not just reproducing the same question to the valuationer. I am not saying you to copy the same question in your exam paper. you can reiterate the question in the other way. Sir, how to reiterate? I am going to tell you in our regular sessions. Even though you know nothing about the 7 marks question, if you reiterate the data presented in the 7 marks question, you can simply score 2 to 3 marks. Generally, many students, what they will do, I know nothing about the 7 marks question, I'll keep it as choice. I'm not going to attempt this question. And the major reason for the students' failure in CMA Inter is they won't be able to write 100 marks question paper. They are not going to write 100 marks question paper. They are going to write 70 marks, 75 marks. Some legends will also be there, 60 marks. If you just attempted for only 60 to 70 marks, how much you are going to score? 30 to 35. It will amount to failure or not? Failure. So the main mistake students, they have some justification. If we question students why you've written only 60 marks or 65 or 70 marks, they have a justification. What they will tell, they'll simply tell that, sir, I am perfect in that 60 marks, sir. That is why I wrote only 60 marks, sir. I am not perfect in that 40 marks, sir. That is why I didn't attempt those 40 marks, sir. That is a foolish thing. Why it is a foolish thing means, if you attempted for that 40 marks, if you reiterate that 40 marks in the other way, if you're able to get just 20%, that is the realistic thinking. I'm not expecting 50%. I'm just expecting just 20%. 40 marks into 20% amounts to 8 marks, right? 8 marks. That means you are simply leaving 8 marks from your answers, 8 marks from your ultimate score by not attempting 40 marks. And students are justifying that I am not perfect in that session. Is there any hard and fast rule that if you are perfect, then only you should attempt the questions? No. Ultimately, that is your exam. There is a question answer paper. You can write anything other than bakwas, other than cinema stories and all. You can write anything. Okay, so this is the very important thing. This is the exam oriented preparation which we are going to tell before 1 to 2 months. 1 to 2 months before your examinations. There are certain techniques which you can easily score 45 to 50 marks in any paper. The simple way is, if you prepare for MCQs, minimum 9 to 11 MCQs are there. How many MCQs? Finally, you are able to write 10 MCQs in a correct way. 10 into 2, how much? 20 marks. 10 into 2, 20 marks. So how many more marks do you need for the qualification? We will calculate on 50 marks basis, not on 40. We'll calculate on 50 marks. So 20 marks you can easily score from MCQs. For another 30 marks. For another 30 marks. From 100 marks question paper, 30 marks will be an MCQ, right? What is the remaining descriptive marks? 70 marks. How many marks? 70 marks. So listen carefully. You prepare 50% of the syllabus. 50%. I'm expecting just 50%. Even though after regular coaching and all, if a student is unable to prepare even 50% of the syllabus, he can't expect him to follow, expect him to access that paper. Ultimately, he will fail. So if a student prepared for 50%, just 50%, so 70 marks, 50% means 35 marks, 35 marks. 35 marks, 35 marks. Listen carefully. You prepared well on that 35 marks area, right? I am expecting you to score just 60%, just 60%. Out of 35 marks, if you able to score 60% of the 35 marks. It will amounts to 35 into 60, how much? Around 20 marks. Around 20 marks. Around 20 marks. It will comes to more than 20 also, but I am expecting just 20 marks. Just 20 marks. So how many marks you have already scored in MCQs? 20. How many marks you have scored from descriptive point of view, where you have prepared only 50%? I'm not expecting students to cover each and every word or each and every concept, each and every module in the entire syllabus. I'm expecting you to cover only 50%. Out of that 50%, am I expecting 100%? I'm expecting 60%. Is it a realistic thinking or a cloud thinking? Realistic thinking. So if you are able to get 60% from the 35 marks, 60% of 35 marks will amount to somewhere around 20 marks. So from MCQs you have scored 20 marks, and from descriptive you have from your well prepared areas you have scored another 20 marks. 20 plus 20, how much? 40. The story doesn't end here. There is another 35 marks also, which you didn't prepared well, but you are going to attempt in a reiteratable way, representation way. From that representation way, minimum to minimum 20 to 25% you are going to score. 20 to 25%. From 35 marks, average 20% means 7 marks. 25% means around 9 to 10 marks. So I am calculating it around 7 marks or 7 to 10 marks. So totally comprises up to 47 to 50 marks. In any paper, I am not saying it about costing. From any paper, you can score like this 47 to 50 marks. Listen carefully. What is your preparation extent? How much, for how many marks you have prepared? For 50 marks, for 50% from major syllabus, you have extensively prepared for 50% of your syllabus only. For remaining 50%, you didn't prepare well. You know the concepts, you know the basics of that remaining 50%. But in this way, you will be able to score minimum 47 to 50 marks. I am not suggesting the regular batch students to follow this way. But why I am saying this way is, even though you prepared in this way, you will be able to pass the ultimate paper. Ultimate group, you can completely qualify. So there is nothing to worry or nothing to fear about. Am I going to pass the upcoming examination, or am I going to clear the both groups? Why I am saying all these points means, even though you will be left with 1 or 2 months with the preparation, you will be successfully able to complete that group in a peaceful way. That is my sole point. But how many months we are left with? What is this month? July. July 14th or 15th. Today is 14th. 14th. July 14th. Half July is there. August, September, October, November. And I am calculating, if you are willing to write group 3, or sorry, group 1 in December, half month is there. Around 4.5 to 5 months effectively the time is there. The preparation schedule or the preparation strategy which I have told about you is with respect to 1 month preparation. But we left with 5 months. We can peacefully complete our entire curriculum and we can solve the questions in the classroom itself. And why you are going to fail in the upcoming examination? And those students who are ready and willing to write both groups in 2026 June attempt, same strategy applicable for them also. Whether you are writing single group or both groups, ultimately up to you. But there are certain advantages if you appear for both groups. And there are some more advantages also, minute advantages are also there if you wrote group wise also. Some students will come up with different kinds of mindsets. Some people are ready to do hard work. Some people are ready to do only smart work. Some people will be able to, some students will be able to write, able to study in nights. On daytime, they will completely sleep. But some students, at 8 o'clock, they have to sleep. But morning onwards, they can, early morning, from early morning, they can, they are able to wake up and they can able to study. So different students will come with different kind of mindsets and different types of wavelengths. So that is why we are not imposing any sort of rules that you must write both groups only, you must write single group only. We are not telling like that. So it is up to you whether you will be writing single group or you will be writing both groups. It is up to the entire decision criteria of the respective student only. Okay, so in this way we can be able to clear groups in a simple way. So what is your preparation extent? For how much percentage you have effectively prepared that exam? 50%. The remaining 50%, you know the concepts. I am not saying that you can leave that remaining 50% and forget about all those concepts. No. If you have the basic idea and clarity with respect to the remaining 50%, you can easily score up to 47 to 50 marks in the upcoming examinations. This is smart work. Okay, so effectively, if you are able to complete 60 to 70% of syllabus, nothing to worry, or you should not think about your whether I am going to pass this exam or whether I am going to fail this exam. You will definitely going to pass that exam. Okay, so MCQs can be used in that way, but scoring 20 marks from MCQ is not a, what we can say, no. It is quite easy than you think. Scoring 24 to 26 marks is an average thing in MCQ scoring. But I am expecting only 20 marks. Why? Because there is an advantage. What is that advantage? Means 90% of MCQs will come from ICMI resources. 90%. 90% of your MCQs will comes from ICMI resources. What is meant by ICMI resources, sir? ICMI textbook, that is mean board book, PTPs, practice test papers, MTPs, mock test papers, and previous exam papers. 90% or sometimes 100% of MCQs will comes from ICMI resources only, and the complete ICMI resources MCQs will sum up to max 200 to 300 MCQs. Maximum. For example, 300 MCQs are there. If there is a assurance that if you are able to complete those 300 MCQs, you will get 30 marks. 30 marks. Is it a hard thing or is it a painful thing for the students to complete that 300 MCQs? Very much easy thing. That is the advantage we are having in Inter. So on an average, a student will score 24 to 26 marks from MCQs. But what is my expectation in this passing criteria? What I have written in that preparation strategy, scoring strategy, I just imposed only 20 marks. That is, I am expecting least marks. Even though you scored least marks, how many marks you will able to get in the final examination? 47 to 50 marks you will able to score in the final examination. That is the preparation strategy. Okay, so we are going to cover that MCQs also from complete ICMI resources. We are going to discuss 100% of MCQs in classes. Out of that 100% MCQs, minimum to minimum 90% MCQs will come straight away in your examination. If you have any doubts with respect to MCQs, or if you think that I am saying I'm not saying the facts with respect to MCQs, I am boasting, or I am saying lies with respect to MCQs, you can cross check with your seniors if any. our costing faculty told that 90% of MCQs will comes from ICMA resources only. Whether it is true or not, you can cross check, or you can even cross check your previous examination papers. You have board book, right? You will get MCQ, you will get previous examination papers. Sir, where we can find previous examination papers? In institute website only you can find it. Home examinations, question papers, there it is. June 2025 syllabus 22 examination is there na. So let's quickly discuss about paper number 8 costing. This is the examination paper. MCQs are there, right? How many MCQs are there? 15 MCQs. After that section B starts. MCQs are mandatory question. Question 1 you must attempt in your examination. That is a compulsory question. Read it carefully. Answer question number 1, which is compulsory. Which is compulsory. After that, after 15 MCQs, section B is going to start, and this is descriptive questions. You have to solve the questions as well as you have to write. There are certain descriptive question and problematic questions also. So this is the paper. Okay, sir, I wish to check final papers also. Okay, there, sir, I wish to check December 2024 attempt. You can go and you can again check. MCQs are there, right? How many MCQs again? 15 MCQs. After 15 MCQs, so in this way you can find all the previously held examination papers up to last 10 attempts, more than 10 attempts also. This is CMA interclass. This is not CMA final class. CMA final we are going to start from, I think 12 or 12:30 if I'm not wrong. Your Telegram group there is a schedule, right? Okay. You can ask the admin department once. So suggested answers will be there. Website only. So I'll show you just a minute. Okay. This is suggested answers. You can download. Okay. For downloading suggested answers, you have to give your student registration ID login. You have to create one login, and if you log in with your password, if you log in into your account with your password, you can find them. Everything is free from institute point of view and from Shikara tutorials point of view. We are doing more than 100% for the student to qualify the next examination, and our materials will also be there, and the preparation of the materials will be with respect to the previous examination papers only. If you are able to cover the previously held 10 examination papers, you will blindly pass. 100%, there is 100% assurance that you are going to pass. But all we need is your presence and attention. Say for example, one student will come today. After 2 days, he will come again. After 3 days, he will come again. So on and off. If you appear for the sessions on an on and off way, it won't be helpful for you and our institute as well. Why? Because there must be a point, then there must be a job satisfaction with respect to institute point of view also, right? So for example, this many students passed from our institute. That for that purpose we are working here. So from student point of view also, so what is the point and what is the benefit student will get if he attends the classes in on and off way? Nothing. That is why try to maintain minimum to minimum above 90% attendance. And there is a big assurance from institute point of view that if you maintained above 90% attendance in your academic stream from July to October 31st, we are going to complete syllabus, right? That will be called as academic stream. If you are able to maintain more than 90% or to the best extent as maximum as possible attendance that academic stream, you are going to pass in the upcoming examination. Why? Because we are going to discuss the concepts in the classes, we are going to solve the problems in the classes, we are going to discuss MCQs in the classes, what not everything. Then why a student will fail? So even though a student will be able to cover 50% of the curriculum in a extensive way, he is going to pass and he is going to score minimum 47 to 50 marks. You are going to cover 100%. Then why you will fail? So that is the criteria. Okay, irrespective of the students' attendance, irrespective of the personal attendance, the classes are going to resume and the classes are going forward. That student will not come today, will pass the classes. Multiple students not come today, will close the classes. No. If the schedule has been announced, by hook or crook, we are going to complete the syllabus in the deadline, irrespective of the attendance from student. Okay, so humble request is to try to attend the classes without fail. If you, that is the only contribution which needed from student community, nothing other than that. Okay, so if you are able to maintain as maximum possible attendance as possible, then you will be able to complete the entire groups, whether it may be group 1 or group 2 or both groups, whatever it may be. Okay, so this is all about the discussion with respect to our paper number 8. So our paper number 8 is cost accounting. So how many sections are there in cost accounting? 3 sections, section A, B, C. So weightage with respect to sections are 40%, 30%, and another 30%. And the teaching order will be section A first, and after completion of major parts in section A, we are jumping into section B. And after that, we are going to after the completion of section A and B in a 100% note, we are going to complete sections. And depending upon the students' responses also, we can modify the teaching order also. Completely, it's up to our customization. There is no hard and fast rule that only this after completion of this section only we have to start that section. After completion of section B 100%, then only we should start section C. There is no hard and fast rule, but depending upon the students' grasping mentality and students' responsiveness, we are going to complete our syllabus. And coming to my classes, mandatory thing is calculator. From tomorrow onwards, students must carry calculator as a mandatory thing. And one more mandatory thing is active participation. Active participation means you have to say the answers. You have to engage in the discussion. If you engage in the discussion, ultimately it is for the best interest of students only. Why? Because one saying is there in English, a good listening is half done. A good listening is half done. So if you are able to listen the classes in a good way or in an attentive way, 50% of your work is done. And the remaining 50% will be done in your revisionary sessions or your preparatory sessions. Okay, so that is the only thing we require from students. Okay, so that is all about today's session. I think this is the last class, right? 11 to 12 costing class is the last class, right? I think being it is the first day, only 3 classes are there, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, if I am not wrong. Okay, admin department will inform you about other classes. So this is our discussion with respect to our first session. Okay, so paper number 8 we are going to start from tomorrow onwards. Okay, the schedule and all will be updated to you and informed accordingly with respect to schedules in your WhatsApp group or Telegram group. WhatsApp or Telegram? I think Telegram group will be created, a dedicated Telegram group will be created with respect to group 1, CMA Inter Coaching, and in the Telegram group every day they are going to inform the schedule. From which place you should come? You? It means where is Bachpalli? Okay, okay. Okay, try to maintain the attendance in the classes as maximum as possible. Okay, right. Remaining things? Registration and all administration department will guide you. Nothing to worry. Okay. So that's all about today's session. Remaining we can complete tomorrow. Right.